Okay. The story's about a minister. His name is Reverend Leroy. Leroy was pastor of the church of the What's Happening Now. I mean, Leroy wasn't the type of guy who'd tell you what happened a long time ago or what's going to happen in the future. When you go to Leroy's place, he'll tell you what's happening now. The members of the congregation dug Reverend Leroy so much that they got together and chipped in, all of them chipped in, and they built Rev a new tabernacle. Well, it was really a storefront, but they renovated. Changed the name from barbecue place to tabernacle. Put a big sign on the front. Church of the What's Happening Now, pastored by Reverend Leroy. Now, it was the first day of the service. The day of the first service at the new tabernacle. It's early Sunday morning. Down the road, on a path, leading through the zoo, comes Reverend Leroy. Now, this Sunday morning, the rain is falling down. Brothers and sisters, the rain was falling down, and the wind was blowing. And into the pouring down wind and the rain came Reverend Leroy. As he walked through the zoo, standing there in the cage behind the bars, looking out between the bars, it's a Go-Rilla. Now, you're laughing. Now, I realize that Go-Rilla, but on the cage, on the front of the cage where it has the name of the animal, it said Go-Rilla. G-O, it said beware of the G-O-Rilla. That's Go-Rilla. Beware means watch out. Watch out for the Go-Rilla. As Rev passes the cage, he sees the gorilla standing there, leaning on the cage, digging out between the bars. Rev thinks that the gorilla is a man in jail who's had his civil rights violated. Rev stops in front of the cage. He says, said, brother, why? Why have they got you behind those bars? Said, brother, whatever they said you did, you didn't do it. Said, you didn't do it. He said, because I know an innocent face when I see one. That you didn't do it, brother. He said, I know. He said, look, just look at the hair hanging down in your nasty face. Said, brother, they won't even let you wash your nasty face. Said, look, said, they've even got you drinking out of a trough. Said, and brother, a man has to stoop pretty low to drink from a trough. Said, we're going to do something about this. Said, we're going to get the members. Said, I'm going right down to the tabernacle, and I'm going to get the members to get together. Said, and we're going to send a petition to Washington. Said, we're going to do something. He said, brother. Said, all I got is $1, a raincoat, and a pack of chewing gum. Said, but you can have that. Said, I'm going to give that to you. And he walked over, dropped the raincoat, and extended his hand, which the gorilla clasped gently. Reb said, brother, I'm going to see you in a little while. And he went to pull back, and he felt the gorilla tighten up. A pain shot up his arm, down his back. Reb said, brother, I told you that I would see you in a little while. Then Rev heard his spine snap. Rev said, brother, didn't I say I would see you in a little while? And the gorilla snatched him inside the cage, betwixt the bars. Rev threw that small opening in the bars, broke both shoulder blades getting him in there. Then he he cupped Rev's head in one paw, and he rained blows upon him with a 75-pound mass of hair-covered nut. The breeder said, "Brother!" Said, "Wait a minute." Said, "Hold it." And the gorilla snatched him by the neck. The gorilla had a handful of the man's neck. A handful of neck doesn't leave too much neck. Has anybody ever had a handful of your neck? The gorilla took him by the neck and he beat him off both sides of the cage. Then he slammed him around and slammed him down and jumped up and down and picked him up and flung him out between the bars. Rev got up. Brushed off his clothes. He walked over to the cage. He said, "Brother," said, "I'm talking to you." Said, "I'm talking to you." And the gorilla glanced back over his shoulder. The rep said, "You know," said, "you're not a man." Said, "You act like a gorilla." Said, "That's the way you act." He said, "Whatever they said you did, you did it." Yes, you did it, and some more besides. Said, "I'm going to get the members to send a petition to Washington, all right, to see that you get the electric chair." Said, "And oh yes." Said, "As for that hair hanging down in your nasty face, I hope they keep you in there so long it'll cover your shaggy corn."